Well, I'm going to throw a quote at director Ron Shelton, because he said when he made Bull Durham, he was not going to backlight this one. What did you mean by that?
This is a film that is not about photography or elegance. In fact, it's about the other side of the glamour of pro sports. And I wanted to stage it and shoot it in a way that had the earthiness and the lighting of minor leagues. And
minor league lighting, I like that.
Minor league lighting. I mean, I think it's very handsome. It's the look I wanted, but it's a look appropriate to the movie. Mm-hmm. It's not. These heroes are small worlds. They're not mythological heroes that from whom light radiates. These are people, and I wanted to capture that.
You also do something I've never seen in a film, especially of this kind. The characters all have soliloquies. They're either talking to themselves or it's an interior thing. Tell me about that.
Well, I like people who talk in movies, and I think we've got away from that a little bit. And I tend to write speech makers as characters. And to justify that, so that as part of the drama and the story, you have to make that part of their character, that they're talkers, they're yackers. And in this case, Kevin and Susan play big speech makers who run into each other, and in some ways butt heads and take a long time letting down to each other because they sort of have the same kind of egos.
But then when Kevin's at the plate and that ball is coming towards him, it's as if he's making an incantation or an invocation to the pitch or something.
I used to talk to myself as a hitter as a way of concentrating. Sometimes I'd talk out loud, the catchers tell me, and sometimes I know I'd talk to myself.
And you'd back out of the plate if you saw your focus?
And if you saw, yeah, it's like acting. It's like doing a lot of things. If you use your head to get out of your head. You want to get into that special place where you're neither rational or irrational. You're sort of extra conscious.
Now, you know whereof you speak. Tell me about your own baseball career.
Played 5 years with the Baltimore organization, late 60s, early 70s, and played in places like Durham, though not Durham, Appalachian League and the California League and the Texas League and the International League.
Second base, right?
Second base. And
how good were you?
Well, apparently not good enough. I played AAA ball. I hit my lifetime average in the minors. I added up one time, was about 265. Second baseman, I had some very good years and some not so good years.
Now look, that's almost halfway between 250 and 300, as we
right.
know from the script.
That's where I worked out that speech playing. That is that the difference between hitting 250 and 300 is one hit a week over a season. And when you break it down like that, it seems like it would be very easy to be a Hall of Fame hitter.
Yeah. Can you isolate maybe one or two things for us that you were able to do in Bull Durham because of your experience in the minors that other directors have not been able to do in baseball movies?
Well, I think treat the game with irreverence. The reverence is the given. Now let's get irreverent about it. We only make fun of things we love. We only can put down things we really care about. And one thing I think that my experience allowed me to do was go out to the mound and hear what really goes on and discover that ball players aren't always talking about baseball. To go in the dugout and discover that they're never talking about baseball, and to get literally between the catcher and the batter. So I was able to go where television and fans aren't able to go.
Like Star Trek.
Well, sort of.
To go on beyond. Instead, they're talking about chickens, curses, wedding gifts.
Wedding, who's getting married, and sexual problems, and anything but baseball, which I think is the way it is.
Finally, I have to ask you that with writing and doing second unit work on Under Fire, then writing Best of Times, and directing this picture, are you now one of the hot up-and-comers, or do you see yourself in that regard?
I'm just happy to be here and hope I can help the ball club.
Now, wait a minute. That sounds like one of the cliches. Let's have a few more of those, just for the record, okay?
Hot is ridiculous. I mean, I can't get arrested sometimes, I mean, you try to keep from getting fired when you make a movie. That's the truth. You try to finish on schedule and not get fired. That's the first goal. And if this movie comes out and does business, I won't be hot again. It doesn't matter. It's in a metaphor for a movie career, a sports one's a good one. I mean, it's a long season. There's a lot of games.
Yeah. Meanwhile, thanks for keeping that backlighting off of Bull Durham. I'm with Ron Shelton in Los Angeles for KCTV5. I'm John Tibbetts.